Hey, hey, hey.
Hey!
I'm first.
Well done, Perci. Well done.
Yes, I like
It's-
being the first one to sit down.
It's
Yeah.
not a
Hashtag
competition, but
goals.
yeah. But Percy
Yeah.
keeps winning.
After
every
how many
week.
episodes? I'm still competing with that. Okay.
You still are. Fine, episode 16, and Percy is still so competitive.
Yes. I like my intros. In fact, I'm doing it again.
How's everyone, Ange? How are you? How's things in Hong Kong?
Yeah, things are good. I am not going to say this time that I'm busy or I'm tired. So I'm going to say I'm tizzy or I'm bired instead. Because I don't want to be the busy Hong Kong cliche yet again.
I'm nicking that. Bired.
So Hong Kong speak. I'm tired and busy. I'm tizzy. I'm tizzy. Hou mong in Cantonese. So busy. Yeah. And how
are
you,
you
Pers?
guys?
I'm all right.
How's things there? How's everything there in Singapore?
It's hot in Singapore, very hot. And then just to bore everyone, yesterday I went on a daycation. So just a few hours in a suite, and I brought Sarah and Alexa, so she had the time of her life. So that's where I did some research. Yeah. So just a daycation for a few hours. Yeah.
Where did your other two children go?
Oh, they both had play dates. So yeah.
Oh.
And then Alexa, we had to bring her. So yeah, it was very romantic. How are you, Pers?
Good. I actually just I've got news of anybody watching who bought tickets to Game Boys last night. Thank you very much. We sold out within an hour. The advanced tickets are all out, so we're moving on to the regularly priced tickets. Thank you very much to all of you.
I saw that. That deserves a round of applause. That's
awesome. Well done, Percy.
Well done.
Well done to the team. Well done to the team.
Yeah.
And to the fans. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you to the fans of Game Boys.
Yeah, congratulations, Game Boys. We are huge fans ourselves.
Yeah, we're definitely fans. And thank you all for tuning in. Thank you for watching, and welcome again to Dear Future Grandkids, the show that takes a peek into our future by telling stories of our past.
I'm Ange, and I'm busy and tired in Hong Kong. That's Jien in Singapore, and we are Percy in the Philippines. This is the last episode of season 2, so we are going to end strong.
Yes, let's end this strong. We're live on Facebook and YouTube, so please send us questions. Any thoughts you have on season 2, please let us know. And please tell us if my intros are getting better or not. Anyway, let's move on. Let's introduce our guest for today. He's an actor. He's a stand-up comedian based in Singapore. He's best known for being that guy who hosted your cousin's wedding, but wound up roasting the groom's uncle.
He is currently the producer-presenter of Singapore's only live late-night-esque comedy talk show called The Rishi Report, which began as a series of comedic news reports filmed from his home during the pandemic. And it's now a fully-fledged live show with real, genuine human beings, a real, genuine live audience, stand-up comedy, hilarious sketches, musical guests, and celebrity interviews.
And before this, he was the host of Singapore Tourism Board's award-winning miniseries Unexpected Journeys and has toured his comedy shows around Australia, India, and China. He has paid the rent for the past 10 years by telling jokes to drunk people in clubs and theaters, and currently tries to engage young punks on TikTok with compelling, funny content. Now, despite all this, he hopes one day to be taken seriously as an actor. So let's welcome our last guest on season 2, Rishi Budhrani.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hello.
Hey.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Hey,
you're very
Well,
purple.
is it
It's
purple?
very
Oh
purple.
no!
Yeah.
Oh no!
Purple.
I thought it was
You know
blue.
purple?
Oh gosh!
It's the color of royalty. Isn't the purple the
Yes,
color of
royalty.
royalty? I know that from my favorite film, Gladiator.
Yeah,
I
I'm
thought you
still
got that
now.
from your favorite film, Purple Rain.
I just did a medical checkup, but I didn't test for color blindness. This looks so blue to me, Angie. I don't know. Like, is it? I just want to say that. I mean, this. I don't recognize the person you just introduced. You all made me sound really good, so thank you for that. I've never.
Hey,
Who is that guy? What award winning?
It's all you. It's there. If it's it's on the internet, you know it's real.
Yeah.
Okay, sure. Well, thanks for bursting my bubble. Yeah.
Sorry, man. Sorry. But more importantly, welcome to Dear Future Grandkids. And we're going to fire off the first question with, what kind of future grandfather do you think you'll be?
Wow, I think I'd be an amazing grandfather if I bothered. Wow, you're showing me what kind of grandfather I look like. You didn't prepare me for the graphics, guys. What?
No, no. Hey, man, you look good.
I do, don't I?
Yeah.
I almost look like I could be a grandfather right now. You know what I mean? Like, that's how. That's how. Man. I don't know. I mean, does it count? See, I had this question. I couldn't ask you all because I'm incompetent that way. I should have figured out my thoughts a bit better. But how do I speak to my future grandkids if I don't have kids? Or maybe I don't plan to? Like, how does that work? Like, I've got a dog. Like, if he, mates with like the neighbor's bitch, like, does that mean that I can, call them my... Does that? I'm sorry. I'm just curious.
It does.
Yeah. That counts. I actually laughed midway because I kind of already predicted where you were going, and I was picturing you talking to little puppies, dear future grandpups. Now, but you see, you've got your friends' kids, right? Who will have their own kids.
Mm-hmm.
We will all eventually have grandkids in some way.
You are the nation's father of comedy. So your future grandkids are the nation's future grandkids.
Mind blown. You can tell he's mind blown.
That's a thought.
It is definitely a thought. I just
Let's
don't
put an adjective in front of that one. What kind of thought is that?
I don't know, man. I fear if you're asking me if I'm hopeful about the future of stand-up comedy in Singapore, not because of who we have here as people, but more because of the current situation. I feel afraid for my future grandchildren of comedy, I guess, because there's given the current situation, there's just no live shows and no stage time, and I think anyone who was remotely considering it as a career in the past is now going like, you know what, I'm going to be a safe distancing ambassador instead for a while. And tell people to pull up your mask. Hey, boy, hey, pull up your mask. Hey, boy, pull up your mask.
Yeah. It's that red t-shirt that's powerful.
It is. It's
still
it's
do
a
that
sense
in a
of
funny way.
You can, yeah, exactly. I mean, I think the best way, like if you're an open mic comedian and if you're watching this show, the best way to get a crowd is to become a safe distancing ambassador and slip in some jokes while you. Hey, excuse me, boy. Put up your mask.
That's her addition.
So a horse walks into a bar, right? Hey, pull up your mask.
Do you know what? You could be a safe distancing officer now. Then you can try new material on people.
Dude, I've tried so many different ways. Sorry, Perci.
You're a comedian who just auditioned to become a very good safe distance officer. I think you just passed there.
Yeah,
I was convinced. I'm actually looking for my mask now. I'm going to put it on because you said so.
Most comedians aspire to be actors, producers, directors. You aspire to be comedian / safe distancing officer. I think that's lofty goals. I think that's ambition, my friend.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think it's in our DNA. Like, people as it is want to stay away from comedians, so that's not a big problem for us, Like I've been dealing with rejection from a really, really young age, Angie. So getting people the distance from me is it's a natural skill I have, an innate skill. Some might call it a pointless skill.
Hey, I see what you did there.
Yeah.
I'm with you guys.
You know what? Let's get this going. Let's get this going because you're already going to the pointless skill. We need to kind of ramp up to that one. We've got some quick fire questions for you first. All right?
Right. Okay. Let's see if your Wi-Fi can handle that.
Yeah, let's see. Wi-Fi gods. Please, please. Last show, last show. Anyway, okay, Rishi. In 3 words, what's your current state of mind?
Oh man, exhausted, exhilarated, and exasperated. Is that the right answer, Percy? I don't know. You're all responding as though there was a right answer and I got it wrong.
It's 3 words, but
Yeah, no, it made me think. It really made me think about safe distance.
Yeah.
Anyway, where were you born?
I was born in Singapore, in the Kandang Kerbau Hospital.
And do you remember your first funny memory?
Oh man, my first funny memory. Okay, yeah, I think about it sometimes. I remember the first time I told a joke in public, which I thought was funny. So I was probably like 8 years old. It was a kid's birthday party, and we were all in a circle playing Pass the Parcel, right? So if the parcel stops, when the music stops and you've got the parcel, you've got to come in the center and do a forfeit, right? I used to buy these little pocket joke books from the book fair at school. Like those were the things that attracted me. Like other kids would buy like Roald Dahl or, some kids would buy Archie comics. But I would like these really weird little pocket riddles or joke books. Or there was once I spent like $8 on the Great Singapore Malaysia joke book, and my parents had a fit. They were like, "What are you doing? Wasting 1 week's allowance on this Singapore Malaysia joke book? What is wrong with But there was one little silly riddle I read in one of those pocket books when I was 7 years old, and when it was my turn, I said it out to a group of kids. You guys want to hear it, right? You want to hear the first joke,
of course. Right? You're building it up.
So I asked this crowd of kids, why do golfers sometimes wear 2 pants? Oh,
Why?
it was so silly. And everybody knows you guys know the answer, right? You don't know the answer? You haven't heard this one?
No.
I haven't heard this one.
In case they get a hole in one.
No.
Come on.
For an 8-year-old, that's good. That's good.
7, dude.
Sorry, 7.
What was
7.
the reception?
7.
What was the crowd? Did they laugh? Did they groan?
No. Are you crazy? This is the toughest crowd in the world. I mean, I've played some shit crowds, Angie. Like I've done comedy to a bunch of foreign exchange students in a bar in Guang or Changzhou where nobody spoke English, and they came to the show thinking that it was an English lesson. I've played to that crowd before. And these kids were like, nobody responded, even the organizer, who was an older teenager kid, who was conducting the party, he just like moved on and played the song. Like nobody even applauded. You know how they go like, okay, kids, well done. Good job.
Yeah.
Hey, let's give little Rishi a big round. Everybody just went, okay, next song, and some Hindi music just played. And that was my first taste of rejection as a kid trying to do a joke in public. That's why, that's the,
But now,
I learned.
Now you do it for a living. You take rejection. You get paid to take rejection from that experience.
I guess if you were connecting the dots backwards, yeah. Sure.
Other people would use that as a story that scarred them for life, and that's why they've never tried to be a stand-up comedian.
Yeah, well, I guess, I mean, this is a cliched old adage, but I do believe it is true. Comedy is just tragedy plus time. And if you can figure it out, and if you can figure that transition out enough, you find a way to process the bitterness or process the negative emotions into a form of release that not only gives you some kind of happiness and joy, but also gives a bunch of strangers in a little attic or a basement or sometimes a theater the same joy.
So all those 7-year-olds who were at that birthday party, I want you to know, look at what you produced from being underwhelmed at the best with little Rishi's joke.
Yeah. Little Rishi just kept rolling with it, man. I told that same joke at a corporate before COVID and murdered, man. Golfers went nuts.
That book. That book still is the book.
It's
All
still
those
the
old
book.
knock-knock jokes, all those jokes from the crackers. Nah.
And
Man,
some of those kids were in that party. They grew up. They became
Yeah.
golfers. They went to that party and they said, "I heard this joke before."
it wasn't
Where?
that good back then, but
Wasn't
you know,
that
I can
good
see
back
what he's
then.
saying now.
Yeah.
Rishi, and name something that really annoys you.
Oh man, people with a false sense of authority and power, right? Wow. Okay,
Safe
sorry. this is-
distancing officers.
I'm not going to say that. Well, okay. I think at least safe distancing officers are doing a job that they've been thrust into. You know, some of them I can understand are actually working. Ugh, I don't know. Sometimes security guards, and no hate to all the security officers and guards out there, but I think there are a handful who there's a difference between like someone doing their job, and then there's a difference between like kind of throwing your power on people, going like, oh, hey, boy, where's your shirt? Sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
What
You
if
need
I ask
context.
this question?
You need context now, right?
Yeah,
You need
I'm not sure a security guard ever said to me, "Hey, boy, where's your shirt?"
And I'm not sure that's an authority thing.
Someone said that to me. I'm not even joking. Yeah.
Were you shirtless? I mean, what?
Where was your
Yeah.
shirt?
I was shirtless, but I was walking to the pool.
Okay.
Oh,
All right. Context.
Context
Yeah.
is everything.
Context is everything.
There's too much to delve into with that story because I think
It goes deep.
Wow. It goes deep into current state of affairs in Singapore and race relations and things like that. But yeah, so I think there's sometimes that's a little pet peeve I have. I mean, I'm always I do believe that I'm always forthcoming and polite, and I always go out of my way to make someone else feel comfortable. Unless I see injustice being done and someone deliberately trying to be condescending to myself or people around me, then I get in the way, I feel. And I think most normal people are like that. You don't want to. Nobody wants to be treated like shit, right?
Yeah, I'd say. I'm going to reverse very quickly out of that question and move straight ahead.
Sorry. Let's go. Let's go to something nice and positive. Sorry about that.
What's been a guilty lockdown pleasure for you?
Oh, wow. Is it wow. Well, I mean, the obvious answer is for a while it was alcohol.
okay.
Dear future grandkids. Dear future grandkids, don't get
I love
drunk
the
in the
honesty.
pandemic.
Sourdough. Everyone else would say sourdough. That's the obvious answer.
Yeah, I mean, look, alcohol was one, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
Don't feel bad. In my household, it was alcohol. It was.
Yeah, it was right.
Yeah.
But
Absolutely.
also, I think
Especially with the 7-year-old twins.
Oh, who's got 7-year-old twins? Oh, okay.
Me.
Jen. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That's
I
cool.
know. That's why we need alcohol.
Yeah, this is all that Disney buzz stuff that's coming back, right? Like you were so good, like entertaining kids your whole life, and like, here, take two at the same time.
At the same time. Yeah.
Well done,
Thank
buddy.
you. Yeah.
I guess okay. So there's two things, right? Alcohol was one, but also, and this is something that my wife highlighted to me. It was online shopping for camera equipment, which is so ridiculous. It was I got so many weird lights and like cameras and microphone equipment, sound equipment, and every other day there'll be some delivery. And I do feel I got a little just a wee bit carried away with some of this online shopping stuff. Because it started off.
Did you sort of reverse justify it to yourself after it arrived?
There was some things I could reverse justify. Like for example, like I started producing content from the home, right? So both of us, my wife and I, were both comedians, creators, actors, and this was something that we were doing for the both of us. That was the easy sell. But when there was solar powered disco lights that came, I couldn't explain that. Like that was a tough one to go. Like, especially because they got spoiled in 3 days, and there was a no return policy, so that was a tough one. Yeah, I still keep it in my balcony. Once in a while I go and see, oh, is there enough sun today? No, I guess not. Yeah.
That's random.
Yeah.
Complete this sentence for us. You're my kind of weird when you
hum when you pee. Wow, that came out quick. I'm so sorry. Was I not supposed to say that?
Hum when you pee.
Is this a guy thing, guys?
No.
Percy, Jien, is this a guy thing?
I don't know.
No.
I don't.
No.
I know women who hum when they pee.
Oh, okay.
Nah,
I'm actually thinking if I do hum when I pee.
Well, you're gonna now.
Yeah, now I'm gonna do
go.
it. I'm gonna picture, Rishi solar powered disco lights, and I'm going to do like MacArthur Spark.
Humming, no. I guess if you were a worldwide famous Irish band, you will rattle and hum.
Ooh.
Okay.
But I'm
Very good.
Showing my age.
That's cool.
And my lack of talent. Oh. So that's my talent's definitely overrated. So Rishi, name something that's overrated.
Wow. You put that in my head. Well, definitely. Well, I'll say this in front of the entire audience. Definitely not Jien's talent. I think I was a fan growing up, man, dude. Like, I would turn on Disney Buzz for at least 5 minutes and check it out and go like, this is amazing, man. No, and then my parents would stop me like, what rubbish are you watching? Come on, man. Change the channel.
Thank you. The first 5 minutes is just, it helps our ratings. So thank you for that. You didn't have to watch the rest of the time. Thanks.
No, but we were talking about this off air, right? And I really feel this, and Ange and Percy were there when we were talking about this. I feel like if there was no content like Disney Buzz when we were growing up in the 90s, where you had Asian talent fronting those shows, then there wouldn't have been Crazy Rich Asians today. I genuinely feel that. Like Disney Buzz was like a baby step to CRA. And that's something that you should all put on your resume. Whoever's involved in it.
It's on my LinkedIn. Yeah. It's on my Tinder. It's on my Facebook as we speak. I'm going to type that, upload that as we speak.
Indirectly connected Crazy Rich Asians development.
Thank you for the kind words in connecting Disney Buzz to Crazy Rich Asians. And I think the writer, creator of Crazy Rich Asians and all the cast and crew goes, Disney what? Jien who?
No, I'm sure everybody watched
but thank you.
You know what it does though?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Angie. Go ahead, Angie.
No, go ahead. You go. You're the guest. You're the honored guest. You go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, right? Like, see, for me personally, one of the things that drove me to maybe subconsciously have a belief that there could be a career for someone like me in showbiz was to see not like-minded, but people who look like me or people who sounded like me do stuff on TV or on an international stage. And I still remember I was 17 years old when Russell Peters blew up. And I never had, I always was curious about comedy. I used to watch Eddie Murphy as a younger kid. And I used to watch Seinfeld a little bit, but I never once thought that, I could, being an Indian kid in Singapore, I could have a career telling jokes around the world, and that was like the furthest thing from my mind. But then I saw Russell Peters in 2001, and I'm like, oh, really? is that happening now? And I think, looking back, that was kind of a weird first phase of me starting to write jokes on a little document in my computer, not knowing whether I'd ever use them. But I actually started writing, observations and humor because I saw that there was a chance of this becoming a thing. So I'm very sure there are Asian artists or people from various age groups who watched that show when they were kids going, oh yeah, this is normal. It's normal for people who look like me to have some kind of success on TV. And yeah, I think all of you would have had some contribution to the future generation's success. So dear future grandkids, don't forget the contributions of the creators of dear future grandkids.
That's the promo there for our series, Rishi. Thank you. Thank
there
you.
You go.
Thanks.
Good night. Thanks. Nice talking to everybody.
Good
Should we end there?
That means
really,
a lot.
yeah. Really
No,
kind of.
I mean
you.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's cool.
Yeah.
Okay,
So-
next question, right?
Yeah,
Sorry.
no. That's really nice of you, and something we take to heart. So I guess it just leads nicely to the next question. What's the most common thing you lie about?
Can I plead the fifth? What's the most common thing I lie about?
Yeah.
Okay. This is just based on statistics, based on the number of times I've said this thing. The most common thing I've lied about is that the length of a man's face is directly proportionate to the length of his penis.
Okay. I'm not gonna ask which way the lie goes, but we'll leave it at that.
Brilliant.
Let's let that simmer for a bit.
Yeah. Simmer is the right word, Perci.
Yeah, there you go, yes. Okay, well,
Wow.
let's just greet our audience for a while. Thank you to everyone who's watching. Special shout out to Michael John Balinas, who sent 75 stars on Facebook. Thank you very much. And
Cool, man,
Bernadette
Michael. Thank you.
Jean Reyes, who sent 10 stars on Facebook. Thank you.
Oh, Bernadette's been loyal, even though we keep changing the time zone on Bernadette and keep changing the days and everything. Bernadette has stuck with us. Burnett has stuck with us. So thank you very
Burnett
much.
Jean.
Thank you so
Burnett
much,
Jean.
Burnett. And you always give good comments, and we take them to heart. So we really appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you guys. Thank you for watching. Now, Rishi, here we go. You know, in
Yes.
everyone's house, there is that corner of shame that you never show visitors. Well,
Wow.
since we have no shame, would you pick up your camera, please, and show us a part
Oh,
of your
gosh.
home that guests never get to see?
Okay.
Because you like
this-
embarrassing our guests on this show.
No, that's fine. I mean, I'm down with that. I just want to set some context. Can I set some context, or do you
Yes,
guys
please.
just want to see
Sure.
it?
Yes. After your
You just wanna
where's your shirt story, please. Always
Okay,
give us
so-
context.
So this room that I'm in, right? I once hosted a TV show on CNA where this room, which is my home office, was decluttered by an organization expert, or rather, I decluttered it as part of the show, right? And she was very proud of me, and she's like, "Wow, Rishi, look at what you've done. You've created space, and you removed all this junk. Your office table is ready to go in 2 minutes. You can work." So after that, the pandemic happened, and unfortunately, if you're watching this has happened now. Okay, so this is just a bunch of junk all over the place.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
still
A lot
quite
of
neat.
online shopping.
Oh, that's okay, right? It's not so
But
bad.
the rack of clothes is still very neat. Very neat.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice of you to say. Okay, then you can see the rest of the shit.
Wait,
This is
there's more.
Post decluttered room, right?
So
And
that's where all your gadgets went.
that's where I hide them when no one's looking. So, yeah.
I've always watched those shows. I've always wanted to be on those shows, but now you answered my question. What happens to the guests after those shows are
After.
done. Thank you very
In my,
much.
in my defense, I did maintain it for a few, well, at least a few days. I was gonna say a few. I was gonna say a few months, but that would be a lie. No, it was. I mean, yeah. I mean, yeah. I liked all the space that I had that we created. But then I started feeling like everything is so empty. Like, let's just shove some junk in the corner a bit more.
So does the rest of your house
good.
look this similar? Or is the rest of your house really immaculate?
Oh man, I don't know if I can answer that. I think my wife and I have different opinions on that.
Depends on
You
your
know, like,
standard for immaculate.
Yeah, right. Like I don't know. I feel like oh man, this is so gonna cost me my marriage. But I feel like I've got like, oh man, okay. So I was a soldier with the army, right? So I've got like a certain way of like, okay, I'll clean my little corner up. I'll do my laundry and everything, and I'll clean up after I eat. Wash the dishes and everything. And not that she doesn't, just that I eat like a very clean and bland food, like on a diet or whatever. But she cooks like heavy Indian meals, right? And washing that up is, oh my God, it's like deep sea diving without an oxygen mask, like, because you've got turmeric on the plates, you've got like 50 spoons for one dish that you need. You've got like, oh man, it's a nightmare, right? So I guess what I'm saying is that I end up doing a lot of cleaning at home. Because the deal during the pandemic was that, hey, I was like, why don't we both cook and we both clean? And then I was told that, Rishi, even a dead dog won't eat your food. Now and that was difficult for me to disprove, right? Like, first I gotta go kill a dog, right? And then,
The dog's dead,
I
so
mean,
you can't eat. But yeah.
yeah, dude, you're right. The risk associated with that was too high. So thankfully, we've got a live dog at home. His name is Bubble. And I went, hey, so I cooked a little something. I fed the dog, and he lapped it up. He was like, he loved every bit. And I said, hey, look, you were wrong, right? The dog loves my food. And she said, so you want me to eat dog food? Is that what you're saying, right? So there was no win this. Yeah. So she cooked, I cleaned, and I can tell you right now, if there was Master Dishwasher Asia, I would kick ass. Like, I would be like, I know the hacks. I know everything you need. Like, I've got a stash of like vinegar and baking soda ready to go. If there's stains, I'm there, man. Like, it's been a tough year.
Wow. Yeah, I can see you spend an awful lot of time indoors by yourself. I can see that.
Yeah.
Ironically, okay, so I mean, there's a point to the story, right? Ironically, when we went into the circuit breaker or the lockdown or whatever it's called anywhere in the world last year, I hadn't done stand-up for a good 5 months, right? So the first stand-up show that I did on Zoom as a comeback, as an experiment, I did the show in conjunction with the Singapore Children's Society. We raised $2,500 for neglected charities during the pandemic, which was a weird thing, right? Because everybody was contributing towards COVID relief at the time. And there was a whole list of charities that needed money but were not getting it because, everybody was giving their funds to COVID relief. So we tied up with the Singapore Children's Society, and I did a show called Dishing Out the Jokes on Zoom, which had the camera set up in my kitchen, and I would start the show with a full sink of dishes. And by the end of the special, I would have finished cleaning up the kitchen. That was the show with jokes inside. That's how much dishwashing I did in the pandemic.
Wow.
You incorporate that into your show. Well done. Well done.
Yeah. What a concept, though.
It was interesting. Yeah, I mean, yeah. I'm just glad that we managed to help people with it, and I'm glad that Dear Future Grandkids is now like a a therapy session for me. So, dear future grandkids, do not use future episodes of Dear Future Grandkids as therapy for yourselves.
It's free therapy.
I like your multitasking. I like the way you multitask. You're like, oh, I've got so many dishes to clean. Oh, they're so stained, all this turmeric. Oh, I will also do a Zoom charity live show while I'm at it to make it less boring. Multitasking.
It's a lot of
like
fun.
it.
I had a great time. Yeah.
Well,
I don't know if I'm answering your
us.
question though. Sorry.
Not
can't
at
remember
all.
the
But
question.
let's not worry about that. It doesn't really matter. And if seeing your corner of shame wasn't humiliating enough, Rishi, do you have a really pointless skill that you can show off to us and our viewers?
Yes, actually I do.
Ooh.
I know I sound really upset about this, but I think my opinions differ from people's opinions as to why it's or whether it's pointless or not. Okay, so should I show it to you first, or should I set it up? I talk too much. I'll just show it to you. So there's a if you just watch this part of my my palm here.
And
okay.
Oh yeah.
So I would use this, and I'll show that. Oh wow! Look, there's something in there. Look at that! Like, whoa!
Oh wow!
Pointless skill. Check
All right.
that out.
Okay.
Can you do that?
How do you do that?
No, I can't do that at all. Wow.
What
Yeah.
muscle are you pulling to do that?
No idea, dude. No
You just
idea. But
born? Born with that pointless skill, or you worked really hard to develop that pointless skill?
Well, it's an embarrassing story, but while we're at it, I used to, I think, the first memory I have of it was when I was in school. I was in a neighborhood school, right? And I was like the only Indian kid in like remotely in a few classes. And this was like the neighborhood of, so I mean, basically it was a very non-Indian neighborhood, a lot of local Malay and Chinese kids. And because I was very different from everybody, and the girls wouldn't talk to me much, right? Like the Chinese girls would be talking to Chinese boys, right? And then the Malay kids, they would be sending little love letters to each other, and I'd be like the messenger boy. Because my only claim to fame was being the fat goalkeeper in the school team. So then I discovered that I could do this, right? And then suddenly people would like crowd around, and girls would be like, "Eh, macam mana? Tengok budak ni macam mana? Tengok, why, baik." This is how it started, right? As a common, it just became a little party trick, and then it came in really handy when I was in uni. I paid my way through uni by dancing in a Bollywood dance troupe and like teaching drama to kids, right? So when I was teaching kids, when they would lose their shit in class, I'd be like, "Okay, children, everybody, stop. Okay, I want you to help me. I've got something in my hand. Help me out. Help me out." And then these kids would gather and be like, "Okay, I want you to tell the man inside to get out of my hand. Get out of Mr. Rishi's hand." It's like, how to tell? I said, "Just say, Mr. Bojangles, get out." And then they'll be like, "Mr. Bojangles." And then I move the thing and I'll be like, "Ah!" Yeah, I didn't keep that job for a long time, but yeah,
I'm thinking the Alien sequel. You know, if they ever do another Alien movie,
and if they come to Asia, why not, right?
Yeah. Rishi, I just need to know: can you do it with the other hand? Is it just one hand?
Yeah, I can. No, I can do it with the other hand too.
Oh man, it's a
it's a little easier with the right hand, but the left hand is possible too.
Oh, wow. That is so weird.
We are definitely doing, guys, you're definitely doing the Pointless Skills Award.
Yes, I think the point.
Yeah,
the point you take gold, gold, silver, and bronze. Gold, silver, and bronze.
Yeah. That's very nice of you. I've never won anything in my life, so this is the most pointless award ever. So I appreciate that.
Are we doing a pointless acceptance speech?
Yeah. Sure, let's do that.
We like to recognize real talent on the show, as you can tell. So yeah, well done, well done.
Wow, I'm very honored to be inducted into this pointless Hall of Fame. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah, it's a audience of one, so you're the only one in the Hall of Fame. Congratulations, I think.
Thank
So,
you. Thank you. It
Rishi,
means a lot.
thank
Yeah.
you so much for showing us your pointless skill. It's something that we will always remember and take to heart. But most importantly, right now, do
Yes,
you
sir.
have your phone near you? Is it your mobile phone near you?
Yeah, I do.
Perfect.
Right here.
So what we
Okay.
want you to do now, where we come to this part of the show, is to get your phone and then think of someone, okay,
Yep.
and leave a heartfelt message for that person. So remember,
Wow.
we're live on Facebook, live on YouTube. Just pick up your phone and press record, leave a voice message for someone, and leave a heartfelt message. Could be someone important in your life. You could scroll down to just the last person in your list. You want to make it random, or you want it to be an important person. That's all up to you.
Is it okay? If it's meaningful to me, but it's not meaningful to anybody else, does that make sense?
That's fine. You can reveal that person. You can choose not to say that person's name too, but you just leave the message.
Okay.
Okay. Whenever you're ready.
Here it goes.
Okay.
I'll call you back. No. Sorry, no, not what you.
It's meaningful.
No, it's meaningful. It's as long as it's meaningful to you.
I haven't called this person back in a long time. Like I've been missing multiple calls. I mean, look, she did give birth to me, right? So I think I should call my mom back, like at some point. Like I missed that call.
It's meaningful. It's heartfelt. Ticks all those boxes.
Yeah.
I must tell you, it is the shortest heartfelt message on 2 seasons of Dear Future Grandkids. That's it. It's all about awards tonight. You've won another one on the show.
Yeah,
it's just who I'm about, man, guys. Like I've been working my whole life to make sure that I win everything on this show.
When you were watching Disney Buzz, you're thinking, I'm gonna win awards in Jen's future show.
Yeah, one day this guy is gonna do a show and I'm gonna be on it. And I'm gonna send a message to mom.
Yeah. See, it's proof dreams do come true.
They do.
Well, Rishi, now that we know that you haven't called back your mom in a while, let's talk a bit about your family.
Hey, look at that, Perci. Nice link, man.
Nice link.
Producers will be proud of you, dude.
I know. I'm gunning for that award too. Jen wins it all the time. So.
No.
So hey, can you tell us about your family, who they are and what they do?
I was my dad's been a tailor since like the 70s. My mom's been working with the business as well, but she was mostly a housewife and a homemaker for a while until the kids grew a little older. I have a younger sister who's an early childhood educator. I've got a wonderful best friend who I married a few years back, who's a fellow comedian, brilliant actress, brilliant creator. And we've got the game changer in my life, who's a little pup named Bubble. He's not right here right now because what happens is that sometimes when I'm filming at home, it gets a little crazy. So sometimes we send him to my folks' place and they hang out because, you know, they love him a bit more than they love me. It's just, yeah.
Maybe Bubbles
I make it sound like I've got troubled relations with my parents.
I know.
No. I am touched with. I'm very blessed. I've been very fortunate. My folks are very cool, and I mean, my dad was one of those people who never forced me to join the family business, which you know, a lot of kids my age or like a lot of businesses or family businesses in the community at the time, they, you know, it was a done deal that you would maybe not do so well locally in your school. You have shitloads of money and go overseas and pay $500,000 for an overseas education. And then you would come back and you would join the family business, right? We didn't have that luxury, I guess. And my dad was very clear, look, stay away from retail trade. Go out and become like study hard, go out and become a professional, a lawyer, a doctor, an engineer. And look what the hell happened, you know. I just went, oh, wow.
How did they react when you told them you wanted to be a professional stand-up comedian?
I don't think I've ever uttered those words in my life, to be honest. Because, yeah, I mean, it's not something that I decided, I think. Yeah, there was a point where I think my dad felt like, okay, this kid is going to be okay. When I didn't get retained in college, he's like, oh, wow. He's a genius. Wow. He's the first one in the family for like 30 years who's like passed. Well done, kid. Go do what you want. Follow your dreams. I mean, no, like I said, like, I mean, I think he was surrounded by a lot of like people who, you know, had like, just kids who had their futures all like sorted out for them. You know, they would not really bother much with like, because there's a big difference, right? Studying locally in Singapore as a Singaporean kid, you pay like, you know, I don't know, 20 grand or 25 grand over 4 years, right, for uni fees, versus going to the UK where you pay like, you know, 400 grand all in, or like going to the US, going to the Ivy League school, or going to one of these private colleges abroad. So yeah, I think once he saw that, oh, my son knows how to save the family money, he's like, okay, go do what you want, you'll be all right.
And he married to a fellow stand-up comedian. That's unusual, isn't it? I've never heard of a couple. And there's a photo of you both. And you actually work together as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Occasionally, I'll say not very often, because we are very well aware of the perils of that. You know, living together, working together is always tricky. So we are always taking stock and reflecting on whether it's worth it or not. But we didn't meet when we were comedians. We met when we were both dancing in a Bollywood dance troupe as teenagers. Yeah.
And you both decided to just go into comedy.
Well, she was training as an actress at the time, and I was a communications student. Also, and when we met, we kind of had some crossed paths where eventually she took a communications degree, and I got offered a really interesting scholarship when I was in uni. I got offered to train for 2 years as an actor at the Singapore Repertory Theatre.
Cool.
And that was probably the game changer for me in terms of getting into performance work properly. Because I mean, I got a chance to learn some really cool shit and work with some really amazing performers and teachers. Yeah, I mean, back in the day when Kevin Spacey was still not taboo, I workshopped with him as part of a Shakespeare workshop when he was here for Richard III.
Wow, what was he like?
He was cool, man. He was really talented. Everybody really wanted to impress him. We performed our Shakespeare monologues for him. I was his forehead buddy in a game, whatever that means.
I'm not going to get you to elaborate that.
The meaning of that changes, right? Sorry, let me just borrow a sec to turn something on. Sorry.
Sure, of course.
Wow, Kevin Spacey. You workshop with Kevin Spacey. That's ultra cool. Oh man, has the solar gone out on the solar panel disco lights again?
Yeah.
Man.
Sorry about that. You guys still have me here?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Sorry. My camera was running out of battery.
No
so I mean, that's how it all kind of started. We met in a Bollywood dance troupe, and we kind of, I guess, inspired each other to do more in the performance space, and comedy happened. Yeah, way after that. We didn't see it coming.
But you both went on the path together to comedy, or like who?
Well, I went on first. So this was sometime in January 2011 where there was a small bubbling open mic scene where there was more comedians than audiences at the time. It was a little club called the Home Club. Across, I don't know if you know this, Jien, if you've been in Singapore a while. It's now called Canvas. So yeah, that's where they used to have this thing on Tuesday nights. It was mostly populated with Universal Studios stuntmen and performers who would show up because, you know, there was cheap drinks and it was their off night.
Fun night,
yeah. And I did open mic for about 6 months before Sharul decided to jump on as well. Because when I was doing stand-up, she had actually made up her mind to go to Bollywood in Mumbai.
Wow.
To try her hand in the Indian film industry.
Yeah.
And before I started stand-up, I went with her as her manager, and we scammed our way into multiple studios. Because when you're in India, nobody takes you seriously if you're like, hello, yeah, I'm an actor from Singapore. Yeah, I'm coming to the... No, if your manager goes, hi, yeah, I'm Sharul Channa's manager. Could we have a meeting? She's an actress in Singapore. Yeah. And then, you know, you get into doors and we figured out in such a way. Eventually, she landed a role in a TV show, and then it just didn't work out. And after 6 months of hustling, she came back home to Singapore, and that's how she started stand up as well.
So when you get together as a family and people introduce you both as a couple, and you know when you introduce someone, you usually say what they do. Do you guys go get introduced as, wow, and this is my cousin Rishi, and he's a stand-up comedian? Is that how you legitimately get introduced?
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah, that happens sometimes. Yeah. It's awkward a little bit, but yeah, it does happen sometimes.
I guess everyone must say, well, tell us a joke then. Well, be funny. Just be funny then. Do you get that?
Yeah, that's the most difficult part of it. That's the most annoying part of it all, I'll say. It's sometimes I do it only I'm very careful about what gatherings I attend nowadays as well.
Okay.
Yeah, because sometimes there are people who you go to where you go to events and everybody wants to be funny when they know you're the comedian, right? Mm-hmm. And there's always things I hear like, hey, I tell you a funny story, but don't mention my name. Don't say I say now.
Oh no.
Or they'll say really silly shit and they'll go, hey, this one I tell you something you can use. And then they will just tell me some stupid forwarded WhatsApp joke. I mean, I guess people want to help, right? They think that they're helping by sharing a funny joke they saw on WhatsApp to a comedian. Yeah. And Indian uncles have this thing in them, right? They'll go like, hey, you know, I heard this story. Hey, you can use this if you want in your show. Yeah, you can. Yeah, no, go ahead. You can use no problem. Yeah, it gets a little tiring sometimes.
They want to impress you.
Yeah, I guess everybody wants to, right? Just that nobody will start. It's different for different people. Like nobody goes up to a doctor going like, if you put some of the antibiotics together with some salt, better. You can use nobody ever gives legal advice to a lawyer. You know, like no amateur dude just rocks up to the lawyer. Your Honor, I think, and you may use this in your next session in court. For some reason, when it's comedians, everybody's like, I think we can tell him our jokes. Yeah, you can help him out a bit.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, they feel that they can, right?
I mean, I think in a way, you know, video. So I was at my friend's birthday party at the weekend on Saturday, and we tried to get the TV working. We just want to play some music like Happy Birthday and things like that. And it wasn't working because, you know, we're in a really fancy hotel, so that it's all remote. You have to use Apple AirPlay. You can't actually switch on anything. It's all connected to an app and all that stuff. So nothing was working in this really expensive hotel. And someone went, hey, you're in video. You fix the TV.
Yeah, that's right. That's so true, right?
For Disney. Video.
They don't know they don't know the reality. Us in production, it always takes 5 people to plug in a TV.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you're in a production with the production staff and you need to play something on the monitor, it takes 5 people to just play something. I don't know why.
And a 6th person if you actually want it to work, right? That
Oh, Rishi, well,
Yes, sir.
we want to keep you busy, and we've seen your room. Now, can you go and get 2 items from your career or your travels that have special meaning to you?
Okay, well, one of them is actually right here. I'm using it. You can't see it, but I'll just hold it up, right? So when the pandemic happened, and we were like, for the best part of 10 years, I had been on stage doing some form of comedy somewhere in the world, at least once a week, sometimes 5 nights a week, but at least once a week I was somewhere on stage. And when I didn't get to do it for a long time, we were all very upset, right? So when I did my comeback show in December 2020. The company Shure, they actually sponsored a personal limited edition SM58 mic for me with my name on it.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Cool. Fancy.
Sure. So, come and sponsor Dear Future Grandkids. Come on.
Yeah.
Perci still using his headphone mics. Come on.
We have no shame.
I got this.
Yeah, so I mean, this was something that was really cool that they did. It didn't take much because they knew that we were all comedians coming back, and this was a way for them to give comedians a voice coming back, and it really made sense because now with the current situation, sharing mics is becoming a bit of an issue. It's always good to have your own mic when you go to a venue and you can just plug it in just for hygiene and safety. So this was a really meaningful gift that I got in my career recently. So I'm very, very grateful for it. Yeah.
Respect, sure. Respect. That's super cool. I really like that.
I mean, it's a beautiful thing they did for me. Okay, the other thing, and my light just went off. Oh my God. I know.
It's the last show for season 2, and we knew just something was going to happen when we go live.
Yeah.
Rishi, thank you. You've won all the awards, every single thing. The show, the first for a lot.
Man, I'm sorry about that. It's like the Sinovac vaccine. But okay, at least you can still see me, right? It's a little less pretty now. Sorry about that. So one of this, so I'm a huge travel buff, right? I would love to go around, see the world. And there was one project in particular that got me a chance to work and travel at the same time. It was actually, you mentioned it. It was something to do with the Singapore Tourism Board. It was a campaign called Dull, Boring, Bland, where the idea was that a Singaporean stand-up comedian goes to 3 different parts of the world with really negative, dull, boring, and bland connotations to the city, because the names of these towns were dull in Scotland, boring in the US, and bland in Australia.
Perfect.
And my job was to go to these 3 different parts of the world and find out what the cool and exciting things to do were there. So this show had me bungee jumping off a bridge, or it had me getting myself sheared in a sheep shed.
What?
Yeah, and the cool twist was that eventually I get to bring someone from each of these cities back home to Singapore to show them how cool Singapore is. So that was the tourism angle to it, right?
Got it.
Nice.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was a lot of fun. It was probably one of the most life-changing experiences in terms of travel and or work. Something that brought these 2 beautiful things together for me. And one of the things I got to do when I was in Dull, Scotland. Oh, is anybody a whiskey fan here?
No.
Yeah. Okay. So
yeah.
Have you ever heard of Aberfeldy whiskey?
I'm gonna say yes, but no.
It's a Scottish Highland whiskey. So Aberfeldy is a town in Scotland. So one of the things I got to do was I got to bottle my own reserve
Whiskey.
cask. Oh, I'm trying to just get the... Oh, there you go.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So it's a blended one, right? So you got to...
It's actually a single malt.
Oh, geez, yeah.
Yeah, so I went to the distillery and they had me bottle my own version of this with my name on it and a batch number and everything. And it was a really cool experience, man, because I've been a fan of this whiskey for a long time. And I remember when I got a phone call from the people in Scotland to do the interview with the cast there. I was at a party drinking Aberfeldy whiskey.
No, that's just perfect. All come together. It's crazy.
Yeah, it was unreal, man. So yeah, this little bottle means a lot. Multiple friends have tried to come to the house and then go through the bar and go like, "Oh man, let's have this." I'm like, "No, nobody's having that. Sorry." This is
Are you saving it? Are you saving it for one particular occasion?
Yeah.
Ah, wow. I don't know. Let's see. It's not tonight, if that's what you're asking, Angie. Like,
it is really finale, you know.
After all the awards you won tonight,
and you won a lot of awards. You're Mr. Pointless Skill 2021.
Look at Angie like planting that seed, all like producer like going, "Are you saving it for something special, Rishi?"
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. By the way, tonight's our special night.
Too right.
Yeah, but to be fair, like, would there be a special occasion that you may open it for?
Wow, I don't know, man.
Because some people save like their best case of wine for when if they have kids and their kids get married, or they save something from their wedding and it was like the 25-year anniversary, they have that bottle. Just I don't know, just it's up to them. It's your own personal choice. Is there an occasion where you think maybe I might?
Yeah, I mean maybe when I can go back to Scotland again, I'll open this.
So you're gonna go to the country where you can get Scotch whiskey from to drink that?
Now you put it that way. Wow. Wow.
Sorry.
What happened to like that? What happened to the positive vibes, man, guys?
Shouldn't have said that.
Did not think that through.
No, but I guess when we can travel again, that might be a possibility of opening this up for a celebratory drink. For sure.
That will be a good time to open that bottle. I look at you holding that bottle and look at it. It's like, I love you. You mean so much to me. You can see that.
I mean, it's weird because it's got. I think a lot of things have memories attached to them, right? And it's not so much about the item. It's about what it reminds you of, what it represents. And this, for me, represented a beautiful time in my life where I got a chance to do closest to a dream career of being a travel host and comedian. I got to do shows on the road in various parts of the world. I got to meet with people from various backgrounds, and I got to show them my home as well. I look forward to being able to do something like that again very soon.
And I'm sure it means a lot more now because of the pandemic, right? Because of what we've been through the past year. So I can totally see that.
Yeah, Rishi. Today's been so great for us having you on the show, and thank you so much for sharing your thoughts about your future legacy and to learn more about you as well. Unfortunately, we reached to the part of the show where it comes to the end, and as we're closing the lid on your future time capsule, you get to leave a message. Now, what do you want to say to your future grandkids?
Dear future grandkids, the world is very big, and don't let anyone make you feel like you don't deserve to do what you want to do.
Aww. That's super cool.
And scene. Thank you. No, I mean, yeah.
I love the linger.
Yeah, I do mean that.
You did that linger, that meaningful pause at the end.
Like I
Threading the
said, man,
ball.
I'm waiting for someone to take me seriously as an actor. All right, so that's my audition
No,
tape for Crazy
you
Rich
know what?
Asians Part 2.
Represent.
No, because actually, in your intro, it says, Jen read the intro that you want to be an actor. I actually do believe that comedians make make some of the best dramatic actors because
Yep.
you've got the timing. I mean, drama is still about timing, right? So there.
Yeah. No,
I
I mean,
see it.
that's one of the first things I learned, Percy. Like, I trained as an actor before I was a stand-up comedian. Like, one of the first roles I did in like heavy serious theater was I played John Proctor in The Crucible, written by Arthur Miller back in the day, right? And I remember the director telling me that there is a very thin line between comedy and tragedy, and most like you said, most tragedists would probably make the best comedians in a weird way. That stayed with me a lot. Started doing a lot of comedy after that.
So remember us when you're accepting your Academy Award. But remember always that it started with a Pointless Skill Award. And then eventually an Academy Award. You have to mention the Pointless Skill Award. It started it all.
That's fair. I think that it's in either in person at the award ceremony or on Twitter. I will mention it if I win an Academy Award. The Pointless Awards of Dear Future Grandkids is getting a shout out somewhere.
Somewhere. 130 characters.
Yep.
we have proof.
Rishi, thank you very much.
Thanks for having me, guys. This is beautiful.
Thank you
I
very
really
much for being on
appreciate
the show
it.
today.
Yeah, likewise. I mean, I hope wherever you're all calling in from, I hope it gets better and cooler for everybody.
Thank you.
So too. And just a shout out to people watching. Julito Caballero. Hi, Jen, my idol.
Wow.
Too kind. Is that my wife?
We said
Is
hi
that Sarah?
to Michael. No? Yeah. Is she going by the name Julito Caballero now? Hi, Julito.
Yeah.
Hello. And then Lynn Bornelia says, I'm also trying it too, Rishi. Your pointless skill is funny. You see, you've got people, Rishi, doing this.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, keep trying. One day you can be pointless just like me.
Yeah, you changed the
Believe
world
in the dream.
2 little bombs at a time. So thank you very much, everybody, for watching. Thank you for joining us for the whole season.
Yes, thank you. We are filled with love and gratitude for all your comments and all your likes. And guys, are we going to do a season 3? Are we doing a season 3?
Yeah, I think
Really?
so. I mean, yeah, we've given the season 2 awards to Rishi. We got to give out new awards for season 3.
Yeah, nice.
There you go. You heard it right here live.
Well, Rishi, so it looks like we may have a season 3, but you've turned a pandemic, film at home project into a successful enterprise. Have you got any advice for us when we wrap up season 2? What can we do better besides everything?
Well, I mean, no, I guess the one thing that got me through, producing from home, just like all of you are right here, is that you never know where the project ends up, right? So, I never thought personally that, sitting at home, there was always that goal and that dream to eventually do it in front of a live audience. But it seemed so unlikely with everything that was going on. But the moment I started knocking on doors and asking people for, whether it was asking celebrity guests on the show or talents or actors or musicians or asking furniture companies for a set or theaters for deals, sometimes people are just waiting, just right there waiting for someone with a good idea to collaborate with. And you won't know unless you knock on those doors. So that'll be my advice, be unabashed, be shameless a little bit if you have to, be ethical always, But yeah, don't be afraid to ask, because you never know where the thing can go. Who knows? One day, dear future grandkids might be sold for $80 million as a podcast.
You never know. You never know.
Yeah.
And we will mention you in our acceptance speech of our $80 million check.
No, we will mention you in our tweet, because that's all we get from Rishi. So good pro quo.
Yes. Please. And I expect nothing less.
Rishi, how can viewers find out more about you? Can you tell us how people can follow you?
Yeah, sure. Please. I'm active on Instagram, on Facebook even, and on TikTok more recently. Ooh. Because that's where it's at. Yo.
What's your TikTok handle?
It's Rishi Budhrani, just RISHI BUDHRANI. You can find me on all the social media platforms with that name, even YouTube. So yeah, please look me up. If you're in the nation, there's a lot of live shows we've got planned. I'm hoping to do a National Day stand-up comedy show. So if you're in Singapore, you can catch that. I do videos all the time that can go all over the nation and also the region. So look out for those. Thank you.
Perfect. So make sure you look out for Rishi. Rishi, thank you so much for joining us again. It's been amazing. And for the last time this season, this has been Jien, that's Perci, and that's Ange. We're signing out. We're going to take a break, and I guess we're back for season 3. So thank you very much. Take care, and bye-bye.
Bye.